2 seconds. 2 seconds. Jesus Christ! What are all these things?
Is it?
My girlfriend was trying
I
dresses.
didn't
So
realize that Marcus is such a diva.
what can I say? It's true. Okay, let's go.
Welcome in, everyone, to another episode of StadiumCast. I am Lundberger, but a lot of you probably know me as Amanda by now.
And I am Inadequance. You may call me Martijn. And we have a special guest today. We have ArceusAurelius, or if I may say, because I'm one of his best friends, Marcus. How are you doing today, Marcus?
Thank you. I just got a new best friend, so I don't know. It could be amazing. Could it be better? I don't think so, actually.
I was going to say, now I'm a little bit jealous because I thought I was Marcus's best friend. So,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, it's going
I
to have to be a
mean,
little bit.
should we
sorry.
disclose the details of that relationship? I'm not sure.
Actually, we should. We should get into that to start with, because you and I have a newly formed, beautiful, beautiful relationship going. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's true. It's not too long ago. I asked Amanda if she would be my editor for my YouTube videos. So yeah, I've made a couple of YouTube videos. I don't know if anyone's seen them, but it's a lot of fun, and I think I'm trying to make videos in a way that not so many people are doing right now for Pogo at least. And yeah, if you would care to check them out, I'd love them. You, Martijn, as well. I mean, I don't know if you've seen them, but
I saw your Trout video. I watched it 3 times or something.
oh yeah, you
It
did.
actually was really good.
Okay, I love that. I love that because it's not too long either. You can watch it. You can watch it a lot.
It's
So
true.
just hit that replay button, and yeah, and we're good to go.
And make sure to click all the ads as well.
Yeah. Click the ads.
Of course. So before we head into more of your YouTube, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you actually got into YouTube as well?
Okay, so I'm a 29-year-old guy who plays Pokemon. So right in the I mean, I guess I'm in the middle of the group that Niantic tries to get to play Pokemon, in between the Singapore grandma and the kids that actually care about Pokemon in a way. But and I just am super competitive. So when I first set my mind to do something and try to do something well, I want to do it and I want to see it through. So that's why I started playing Pokemon Go, and I started like in 2019 playing competitively, and I think it was Nightmare Cup. That was my first cup. So I'm not the oldest of the oldest veterans, but I was in somewhat at the beginning.
You're a veteran, yeah.
Oh, stop it, you. But yeah, and since then I've tried to become as good as I can, and I am currently playing for perhaps the greatest European team at the moment, Snover Tappers, and I'm very proud of how far I've come in Pokemon, and yeah, I'm just trying to make the most of it as long as I'm relevant. I guess I could say. So yeah, that's kind of why or who I am in Pokemon, and I got I'm not sure if you asked, but I got into I actually started to contemplate making YouTube videos already back in 2019, but I was a student and I didn't have any money for a good enough computer to do any of that stuff. So
There he goes again.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry.
Okay, I don't know if you how you do with like profanity and stuff, but I'll try to keep it PG-13. Yeah, so I thought about it back then, but as I said, I didn't do anything about it, and I guess I've kind of felt inspired by seeing
Me.
among them you, because you make quality content, I feel, and I also feel that there is a niche that's been missing in Pogo, and it's more kind of scripted videos for kind of entertainment purposes with learning mixed, like infotainment, and in a scripted way, of course. And I wanted to have like good edit to my videos as well, and that's why I needed to outsource, that part, because I'm not a video editor. So that's where we are right now, and I've been inspired by other creators as well, of course. But yeah, just trying to find, um, trying to make the content that I think I would like to watch myself in a way.
That makes sense. Also, you saying that you're a fan of Martin was probably the nicest that any of our guests have been to him on this
Dude, it's
podcast
true.
yet.
It's actually
And that's
true.
including House Stark, who I said that dude might be a serial killer because he's like legitimately the nicest person that I think I've ever talked to.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, I guess, and that's the thing with Martin. He's good on the bottom.
Okay, thanks, I guess.
Yeah, no, but seriously, the thing is, the top like European players, two of them are Dutch, and I mean, I don't know how you, Martijn, have kind of how your road to becoming the player you are have kind of um, how you became, but I'm very impressed by your level and consistency to perform at the level you do, and I need you to teach me. I need you to teach me.
What do you mean by the consistency I do? You mean my videos or?
Oh no! Now I meant as a player. Your video is shit, but what?
Man!
No, I'm just kidding.
Finally,
Finally,
this is the content everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah, no, seriously, um, I really look up to you as a player, and your consistency when you go to tournaments and how you always turn up, apart from that one time in Lille, that's and I know you were sick. I know you were sick that day, so I had a lot of sympathy for you that day, and you didn't ruin your legacy in my eyes.
Thank you. Well, one of the things that I definitely took from that season is that even if I am one of the best or know every single thing of the game, I can still go O2. So I think it's been a good reality check myself that I should not have high expectations to every tournament that I go.
It's a good reality check for everyone, right? I mean, like even the best players can go 0-2 in a double elimination format. It doesn't mean that you're a bad player. It just means, yeah, I mean, a little bit of luck and a little bit of not so luck.
It's true.
Yeah. And how did you kind of go about after? Well, obviously you had a very disappointing result. How did you kind of work through those results to get to where you are today, where you are consistently getting day twos?
Have you seen how many practice tournaments I've hosted? I've played nearly all of them. I've practiced about 45 tournaments myself right now, so I just keep practicing, playing until I hate the meta so much that I want to use things that are off meta to counter all of it. That's, I guess, how I work on it.
Okay, because I've been thinking about how I am supposed to kind of get past my not so good streak, and I think that I just need to play more, I guess, and I'll be on the lookout for your Thursday practice tournaments.
This Saturday.
Oh, Saturday I'm in a wedding, but okay.
Of course you are.
In the future, I'll always have an excuse as to why I'm not playing them.
But this is maybe good for people who aren't super familiar as well, because it's not that you've been having bad runs in the play tournaments as well. I mean, you've been a day 2 competitor multiple times. Walk us through, yes, how you think that your seasons have gone so far for play Pokemon.
It started off very well because my first tournament this season, I had a top 6 finish in Lille that we finished. I think we both finished top 6 that tournament, Martijn. Yeah, I think
in Lille, yeah, I think you were there as well, right? You had the Toxapex that had the wrong CP.
Yeah, that's right. If I had the tox specs against
You would have won.
Tactical,
You would have won.
I actually do believe that I would have won. But I also think that I started off in the meta that I enjoyed thoroughly with Nidoqueen and Walrein. I actually brought Lapras instead, and that was a very good meta for Cresselia. And I play Cresselia very well, in my opinion. Cresselia is one of the Pokemon that I am comfortable in playing in most scenarios, and I know how to kind of eke out the tiny advantages I need to win. And um, then the meta changed in before Stuttgart, and that was my next tournament, if I remember correctly. And I didn't manage to adapt to that meta as well as I could have and should have. And it was a struggle because I kind of didn't maneuver my best way around the meta in as I would have liked, and kind of depending on Trevenant to break up the cores that I didn't want to play against, ended up with me having to rely on my opponents not bringing Knockdown in a way. And yeah, I guess I just felt I did have some decent results even still though. I placed fourth in Bochum, which will be a tournament I'll always be disappointed by because I basically messed that one up in the semifinals. And I went 4-2 in the UIC, and I took out Shadow Dragonair from my team 2 or 3 days before the tournament.
Rough.
So, and when I look back at kind of Ponton's run, I guess you could say I'm disappointed in that choice. But yeah, I've this season has been a roller coaster for me. So with some really good performances, but also some very bad ones. In Malmö, I went 1-2, and I had gotten in that spiral where I just didn't trust my instincts anymore. So I would kind of see a player, and I am familiar with them and their play style, but and I'll find a strategy to how I can consistently beat them, and I can basically play this team in all 3 games, if or both, and have a great chance of winning. But I just don't do it, and that's what's infuriating, because it doesn't work out the way you kind of needed it to. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy we had a move update that's substantial.
Yeah. There's a couple things about that. I think the meta you talked about, Liu, that was one of my favorites as well, right? Where Lickitung and Medicham were a very good core, and I think it made a lot of neutral play possible, right? There wasn't really a lot of RPS in that meta, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, and what you say about Malmo, sometimes you have a plan, right? That's what I experienced myself as well. You have a plan, and you're like, wait, nah, maybe I should differ a little bit. And then you'll see, you should have stuck with the plan. It happened so many times to me,
and
right?
that's I think that comes from my lack of playing recently, because I in Malmo I just kind of sit at the table, and then I think, well, this is too obvious, and he's just gonna look through the entire thing. He's gonna expose me, and the strategy is not gonna be worth anything. So I'll do something slightly different, and it just doesn't work out. And because my plan was, I'll go into the details if you like. Stop me if you
Go for
if
it.
it's okay. So I was playing this player called Bench Styler, and I know kind of his style. I know that.
Style? His bench style.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I think actually that's it for me. Bye-bye.
One more time,
No,
Amanda.
yeah. No, for seriously. So I felt like I could make educated guesses on how he would play his team, and I realized that he had only one answer to Obstagoon, and that was his Medicham. And I was pretty confident that he wouldn't play Medicham in the lead and then Lantern in the back because I had Trevenant. So if I lead Obstagoon and I am facing Medicham, I'm quite confident he cannot have Lantern in the back, so I can safe switch Charizard against anything.
Bro, that's exactly my strategy in Hartford and EOIC. Great
Yeah,
minds think alike.
yeah. I mean,
But then they all play ABA.
yeah, and if they play ABA, you're basically, and that's. But then I didn't. I ended up not trusting the strategy, so I didn't. I played Trevenant lead instead, and then I faced Noctowl lead, and I safe swapped Charizard. And what do you think is there?
I think it was
So
Lantern, probably.
exactly, it doesn't work out, and yeah, it's because when you change the strategy, it's an entirely different thing. So yeah, I was disappointed about how I didn't stick to my guns. Yeah, but it's I think playing more will help me, I guess, because I know I've got a level to perform. I just need the consistency, and for that, I think I need more games.
Fair. Now that I think of it, you used my team at Malmo, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay,
And
now it makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, and your team is very catered to my liking. I like the kind of offensive pressure you put on, both with Obstagoon, with Charizard,
Mhm.
and you also have just solid. The rest of them were solid meta picks that I enjoyed all of them really. Uh, Maybe I prefer G-Fisk over Registeel, but Reggie's better in the meta. So I mean, it's give or take. But that team is really solid. I really like it.
Yeah. How would you? What do you think of the current meta? Have you seen any of the recent Play Pokemon tournaments? What is your
Yeah,
impression so far?
I think the removal of Trevenant have removed a lot of hard counter matchups. There are not so many grass types anymore, and I think that is a good thing because grass types are very vulnerable. So I think if you're running a grass type, you more often than you'd like end up in a bad matchup. Uh, I prefer running Cresselia, who's a psychic type with grass coverage instead, because you get the benefit of the grass coverage without the grass weaknesses. Of course, you gain some other weaknesses, which in turn might not be good as well. But for me personally, I prefer that more. But essentially, I think the lacking grass types, the few grass types there are, makes the meta more neutral, and it's weird because there are less grass types, and we got an ice type buff, but Altaria is. It's been a while since Altaria has been so good, and it's been performing incredibly well. I think 3 of the top 5 in Milwaukee had Altaria.
I think because it breaks or has good play against the top 3, which is, I believe, Noctowl, Sableye, and Medicham, right? And even against
Yeah.
Registeel, it can still put in a little bit
Do
of work,
something.
like
Yeah,
in
it does
comparison
something.
to G-Fisk, yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely agree. I think Altaria and because ice types and Trevenant got a buff, Alolan Ninetales are not as common anymore either. So without fairy types, Altaria is always putting in a shift. G-Fisk needs 3 Rock Slides to KO, and Registeel, I mean, it has such a low HP pool that Dragon Breath chunks away anyway. So, yeah, I think Altaria is in a good place at the moment. It's good, and also Sableye is back, which is also always a healthy sign of a meta, in my opinion.
if you're playing Sableye, would you prefer the purified version or do you prefer the shadow version for the extra poof?
I haven't played the Shadow version myself, but I
Oh,
do believe that um, I'm kind of a principled man, and I believe that normal and ghost coverage, also normal and dark, is exceptional. So for me, it's just the idea of having access to return, which is such a good move, especially for Sableye, is value that I don't want to turn down.
I think I currently actually agree with you. I used to like Shadow more, but you know
Mm.
what's also becoming more common right now? It's Umbreon.
Oh
Shadow
yeah,
Sableye does not do well there. I can tell you that. At least Return from Purified Sableye still does like 40% or so, right?
yeah,
But
and
Power Gem is just
yeah, that's not good enough. And I do believe that Sableye with some attack investment can flip Umbreon in the zeros if Umbreon is running foul play at least.
correct.
So yeah, and Sableye shouldn't be able to flip Umbreon in the zeros, but it is. I mean, in some scenarios, and that's something that I do like about Sableye. That you even your hardest counters are not as hard as you think they are, and that gives you an out in most matchups, and I like that.
Fair, fair.
Kind of like Charizard in a way, because Charizard also hits so hard that it basically can brute force its way through stuff you wouldn't believe it could, like Azumarill, for instance. And it's just ridiculous, but it's just how it works, and I think that's cool.
I'm grateful for Charizard, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of healthy metas, you've been on the Sylph meta team for well, right? Can you tell us a
Yep.
little bit more about that?
Well, they put out an application where you were supposed to evaluate 6 types of metas that they had created, like just dummy metas, but just to see how you kind of resonated and your reasoning behind the choices that you do. And we've been working together since before Christmas or something, and it's been really fun. I feel that when diving into how kind of Pokemon, the dynamic between Pokemon, I find that really interesting, and how to kind of pull out the cool stuff about any Pokemon. That's what yeah, it inspires me, and I think with metas like Sylph have created in the past, you really get to practice like all of your matchups and all kinds of spice picks, and it's just you train your skills for real tournaments as well. And I think being a part of creating them, it's been a lot of fun for me. So I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
what are some of the metas that you helped create so people who are listening in can either really side with you or really shake their fists at you?
Uh, the two metas that have been my visions have been Vanguard and Innocent Cup. That's being played currently. Or if you're watching this in the future, it's played in June 2023.
There you go.
Uh,
Thanks for helping the editing.
and don't worry about it. And I've been helping with several. Like I helped with Arcana. We were supposed to ban Cofagrigus, but something went wrong when it was published, and that's just how it ended up, sadly. But Arcana was still good, and I've also been part of King of the Hill, some of the King of the Hill metas. But when you want to create a meta, you need a vision. And the vision I had for Vanguard was that I wanted a meta that was inspired by the Elite Four, the first generation Elite Four,
You mean Arrow,
Kanto.
House Stark, Togepi?
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah,
Role models for him.
I mean, Valarash has been an inspiration for me since the beginning, right?
True, true.
No, I meant the Kanto Elite Four, and Lorelei has mainly ice and water Pokemon, which make up the first slot. Uh, Bruno has mainly fighting and rock Pokemon. We included Grounder as well, and then is it Agatha who has poison and
think-
ghost types?
I think that's the ghost type. Yeah, that's the ghost type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Karen in the second generation has the dark types,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe.
that's correct.
And fourth is Lance with the dragon and flying types. And then you have the champion. Like the last two slots were just some restrictions on what you could pick. But I was so inspired by just kind of creating that Elite Four challenge in a way. And Nessa Beethan especially put in a lot of work to make that meta healthy, and it was an incredible meta in my opinion. And also with Innocent, that's out now, I wanted a meta where fairy types are what you usually use normal types for, because normal types are usually like a neutralizer that you can just throw in against anything and you'll usually be fine. And fairy types, especially in open Great League, are often so polarizing. You either have a good matchup or you have a terrible matchup. And I wanted fairy types to have that neutralizing effect. And that's the vision behind Innocent. And we tried to balance it to not make fairy types overpowered and just have people running 6 charmers. And I think
I would do that.
managed. Yeah, you would do that. And I do believe we hit it right on the spot, because I see a lot of diverse teams and different strategies, and yeah, I'm very proud of Innocent actually. So yeah, those are my two staples that I've heavily influenced.
All right, all right. How do you feel about Sylph currently? As someone who has been around for such a long time, must hit you pretty hard, right?
Yes,
I can tell by your face.
Yeah, when the news were announced, I was devastated. I was afraid of I was scared of the future of the game, and afraid that kind of the interest would dwindle. But I do believe that we are heading in a direction that's even better for the game. And I I hate to say this, but I do feel like Sylph as an organization kind of um, left at the right time, because currently the organization struggle to kind of adapt to the rapid changes that the game has and the player base has, and I feel like it's an organization that really could need some change and freshen itself up a bit. And if the will to do so is not there, it might be a hindrance long term. And having new people come in that's super enthusiastic about the future and what they can do for the game and how we're going to play this in the future and what needs the player base has, and how we can move forward with the game to the best for everyone. I when if you won't let them into the old organization, then it's better just for them to yeah, take the reins themselves. And I do believe that we have those players and have those people behind the steering wheel for the future projects that are coming. And yeah, I'm happy to have been asked to be a part of the meta creation in a new project called Project Zygarde as well. We'll see if that name sticks or what happens with that. But I was super bummed when Sylph announced that they were closing the doors, but I am very optimistic still about the future of the game. And part of that is because I don't know if you've noticed, but I feel like Play Pokemon tournaments have increased in numbers.
In Europe, yes.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
States, maybe not so much, but I think that's also distance related.
Yeah. I mean, US has some other issues about logistics and how easy and accessible all the regionals are. There are half the people we are in Europe and twice the distance or more. I don't know. It's US is huge, so I feel like the interest of play Pokemon tournaments are rising by the event, and even an event like Fresno, where the participants was maybe not the highest, I still believe that the stream and the coverage it produced was really interesting, and I believe a lot of people watched and are interested in how these events go. So I feel like we are in an upward spiral um, regarding interest and enthusiasm. At least that's what I believe.
Marcus, I agree with you on like all these fronts. I believe that Play Pokemon is kind of bringing some excitement. I was also very sad about Sylph ending because I mean I have a lot to be grateful for with them as well, like for a lot of the things that I've been doing with Pokemon Go. But I'm also very excited for Project Zygarde, and I was really happy to see that you were a part of the meta creation stuff a little bit there. I don't know how much you're allowed to say yet, but
I don't think there's any like
It's just a community project, no?
all right, then spill everything.
Yeah, okay, for sure. What you want to know? I mean, as Martijn said, it's a community project, so there's no secrecy or anything. I
I mean,
believe
I
that.
am community manager. I know all about the community.
Oh, really? You were
Okay.
just saying otherwise.
Yeah, I'm very happy for you, Amanda. You've
Thanks,
done
everybody.
really well for yourself. Yeah. No, we've established a meta team of some experienced meta creators and some players that showed early interest. And I believe there are a lot of feedback going on about how we should continue. But currently, I do believe that um, it's important to not have too many cooks on one dish. So I'm not sure kind of how to contribute easiest or yeah for like every other player, but I do believe that Project Zygarde is very open to feedback and what players are thinking, how they believe we should proceed. So there's not like a lot of discussions about how we should move on backstage behind closed curtains, because whenever I see any discussion or any kind of decision like closing in, there's always we should ask the community about this. Polls saying, "Oh, what do we even know what the community wants, or is this just our opinion?" And then we put it on the vote, and we ask people in the feedback channels, and yeah, and I'm saying a lot of we, and it's not like I'm a huge part of the project or anything, but I feel like it's a we because it's how we as a community will proceed and how we move forward in a way.
All right. Thank you. I want to ask something a little bit more personal to me. Where does the rivalry between Snover Tappers and EU Empress come from?
That's a tough one. But honestly, I do believe it's from Andy Youth.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Andy Youth is exceptional at just poking the bear, and whenever, and I mean, I'm not gonna shy away either. I mean, I love poking when there's when there's a giant sleeping, I'm poking, and I love to be poked back as well. So I'm happy to just have that banter going because I think that's a good, like a good environment to be in. And since you were doing so well for so long, that when finally you guys took your foot off the pedal just for a little bit, I mean, you kind of have to just like hit down on that one, don't you? Yeah. And
Disagree.
I guess you are, but I do believe that we also before my time I joined Snover Tappers for the last 4 cycles, and I do believe we are the maybe the most recent faction to push you and had the closest kind of gap between us. I at least I believe so.
No, I
And
agree. Especially lately, Guerrilla Garbodors. They used to be one of the best at first.
yeah,
I feel like, with all due respect, they're extremely washed right now.
extremely washed.
Extremely.
That's your words.
I really, I really hope they get past the group stage. That's what I hope for them. But
Yeah.
yeah, and Wade's
I hope so
potential
too.
also hasn't been super consistent. They did beat us last cycle.
Yeah,
But
they beat us too.
that's only their first win.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mention that.
Yeah.
I think you're a good second, if I may say,
Yeah.
if I may call us a first.
Thank you. It's the best anything could say. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it from a guy who places himself on the top. I'm happy accepting that I'm a good second. Or that we
Actually, I'm gonna, because we just had an interview with Though Technical as well, and I asked him this about the EU Emperors. So now we'll get your take about Snover Tappers. Rank Snover Tappers in order of talent on the team.
Our players?
I like
Yep.
this.
Oh, it's incredibly hard. If I were to put it on like merit, I'd have Ventuski as number 1 for sure. But currently, I mean, it's hard because Bibylicious is whenever there's a big event, he's the guy that turns up for all the big when the pressure is on, he's there and he's just winning. And
Well, I remember one cycle that I 3-0'd him, and he was not the one. He was not the one showing up.
Yeah.
And one flight further, we actually lost our like 6 points lead or something.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Bibylicious has underperformed in factions, that's for sure. So
Yeah, but he's really good in general, though.
He's an exceptional player. I mean, he is the best in our team in reading lines. He will always call the A9 in the back, to put it that way. He's coming in with the Altaria against Gfisk because he's reading the A9 in the back. And that's kind of his expertise in a way. He just realizes his win con before anyone else does. So for me, I think those two are probably the best players, and it's very hard because I feel like we are all very even, and then it's very hard to like rank all of the players because I do believe that Galaxico Bolton and Dane have the best results recently. And Nemo and Andyuf have been so consistent in Master League. It's very hard to kind of rank those performances in a way. So right now, I'd say Bibylicious and actually I'd put the 3 Swedes first: Bibylicious and Dana or Galaxico Bolton. And then I'm putting Ventuski, Nemo, Red Asher, and if Bar the Gamer. Holy crap! I mean, it's a stacked team. I'm putting myself on the bottom in this team. I'm putting myself on the bottom, and luckily I have the most experience in OGL, so that's an Open Great League, and that's an advantage I have with these play Pokemon tournaments and stuff. But yeah, there's a great pack of players.
Darn it. We always tried to get the controversial takes, but you were just like way too nice about it.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I'm sorry that I am not providing the content that I should have been.
It's like they don't want to flame their team members.
Yeah, it's so
So
weird.
lame.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's kind of a Scandinavian trait, I guess. We're always too humble, too humble.
Hey, I have a random question that something that I noticed on your channel the other day. You already
Okay.
had 6,000 followers before you even started. Did you do
Oh
anything
yeah.
before that, if I may ask?
I've posted like some anime music videos,
And that
but
got you 6,000. I don't have 6,000.
I mean,
Or maybe I do.
I didn't
I
even
don't.
make them myself, man.
Oh.
It's just reposting some stuff that
So
you found
you just
online.
got people like Azure to watch all of them the whole time.
Come on, for sure. And then I realized, why? Well, I have this thing. Why not use it for something that I actually do want to create? So yeah, it's completely random. It's not pogo related at all, and nothing that I'm kind of proud of in any way because it's not my kind of accomplishment anyway. So
I have a random
yeah,
question for you as well, Marcus.
go ahead.
When did you realize that you were a nerd? Because if anyone has seen Arceus Aurelius in real life, you're like a really super tall, kind of like intimidating, but you have this Viking-esque vibe to you, covered in tattoos, like towering over everyone else at events. And then you're like, we were talking, you're like, oh, I love Harry Potter. I love
Ah,
Pokemon Go. And I was just like, this dude.
yeah,
Bought
the Harry Potter is when I realized I was a nerd because I was reading The Order of the Phoenix in recess in fifth grade. So uh, that's when I realized, especially like I'm not sure if I actually thought about it back then, but I thought about, okay, I am reading Harry Potter instead of like playing playing ball or yeah in recess, and it made me realize that I I like what I like, and I kind of felt it's a good thing. I've never been shy of liking Harry Potter or Pokemon or anything because when I was like 10 or 11, I felt, oh wow, my grammar is impeccable because I've been reading all these books, and I mean, you guys are fucking, oh sorry, you guys
Doesn't
are
matter.
okay, you guys are fucking illiterates, and I read books in like 800 pages, and I'm smart, man. And I felt like that was a good thing. So the nerd kind of things, it's just been sticking with me because I feel like it's yeah, a strength. And when I got older, I started to get like more mainstream because I wanted to like meet girls and yeah, be cool and that kind of stuff. But I feel like I've never kind of let go of who I am because I have this superpower that I have for myself, and it's kind of who I am. And so for me, it's just been like a good thing that I thoroughly enjoy, and um, it's just what I yeah, it's just what I enjoy, and then I'm gonna enjoy it. And I also enjoy going to the gym and also enjoy going out drinking, and I'm not gonna like compromise on the stuff that I enjoy for other people's
Yeah, you're gonna go
yeah,
get shit faced at the bar.
yeah, get shit faced at the bar.
Yeah. Well, at least you succeeded.
Thank you. I, I actually, to address the shit faced at the bar thing, because for the players who don't know, I was interviewed in Lille where I had won a game on stream, and then Kanzivius asked me a question, and he asked, "Where do you see yourself ending the tournament?" And I said, "I'm probably gonna go O2 and then get shit faced at the bar," and
Which was my post initially, no?
yeah, exactly. Because I saw you on Twitter writing that stuff, and I was so happy because I felt, wow, this is how I'm gonna do it. This is my plan for the tournament because I didn't have any expectations going in. So just keeping like the expectations low, it was how I was kind of coping. And then I did really well, but I was there not expecting to do well or expecting to qualify or anything. So when the results were what they were, I decided I had made up my mind already. So it's just it was what it was, and I got a ton of shit for it because I believe that the production were a bit intimidated to having me on for more interviews or
Can
stuff
confirm.
like that. Yeah, they were. Yeah, you can tell me. Yeah, I guess I kind of got the reputation as a loose cannon, and it's yep. I've had to deal with that, but I do believe that I can contain myself better now. I've learned. At least I try to.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
no. I think people actually believe because he was also one of the interviewees at Malmo, right?
I know.
Yeah, I
So,
was.
people have good faith in you, right?
Ah,
You are, after all, you are that nerd who accomplished still getting girls and looking tough and stuff.
yeah, it's been a goal. It's been a goal of mine. Thank you for recognizing it.
Hey, Marcus, I have one final question that we usually have on this podcast. We're going to ask you, who do you see as a crap roller, someone who isn't really well known, but who's really good at this game, might even be a name upcoming, and who is someone you would consider to be a match champion, someone who already is really good, may even win worlds?
Mm. Uh, for the crab roller, if that's what you call them,
Yeah,
uh, I I have full faith in Danky-chan. He had an extremely good run in Malmo, so people have opened their eyes for him. I've known him for a couple seasons now, and he keeps on surprising me. Um, but if there's a player that I'm constantly afraid of, it's Birds of Prey. She's a Norwegian player, and she's terrifying. My record
yeah.
against her is awful.
She knocked me out at there was this side event, right, at the EUIC,
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
knocked me
it
out.
was.
I swept the group, including her in there, and then the single eliminations, she knocked me out the first round.
Yeah,
She can be pretty good, yeah.
yeah, she's good, and the Machampion is it's a tough choice because I feel like currently the best three players in NA are standing out so much. But I do believe that our level in the EU is it's a wider at the top. And I do believe, yes, Martijn, you are currently, I think you are it pains me to say, but I do believe actually you are the best active Pogo player in
Whoa.
front. Yeah.
And this is where if we had like
The
sound effects,
first, the first. We're gonna get
Yeah.
him one more.
yeah, I might add in some bells and whistles and dings into this.
No, but for real, I'll give you that because what you have shown, especially recently, is very impressive, and I um I, I I hope you can knock out all the Americans from Worlds, man.
I
It's
will try. I'll
yeah,
preferably try to knock out everyone, but we'll see how it
yeah,
goes.
yeah. I believe in you. I'll root for you. I'll root for you.
I was the
But
first
I
protest.
also have a couple others that I have to root for as well. I'm sure you're
Of
aware.
course, of course.
Bibelicious, Danky-chan. I believe they're both capable of winning worlds. Lurgan Rocket, EJB.
Just all the
I can,
Europeans.
Yeah, it's
yeah. I
only
mean,
you're gonna bet on a region.
I
Yeah.
can keep on mentioning players, but I the one I would give the lowest odds of winning, at least for yeah, currently would be you in my opinion.
Okay, dudes. Come on, man.
Yeah, have you seen the
Oh,
color of
and
my
we're back.
nose? Have you seen it?
Oh,
A bit red.
Yeah, no, it's brown.
it's brown.
Oh.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
is.
Well, thank you again for being on. We appreciate it. Everyone, yeah, we'll put it in the description, but go check out his YouTube channel as well. Give it another subscription. Go ahead and give Inadequance one too, because apparently he's complaining that Marcus has more than him, and we can't have that.
I have to check the numbers.
Seriously, guys, thank you for having me on, and sorry if I was just blabbering too much, but I
Don't worry
I
about
have
it.
a passion.
We love
Okay,
it.
thank you. It's my passion, so I'll just
To talk?
keep on. Yeah, for sure.
That's a great
To
passion.
talk.
Yeah. But another passion I have is listening.
Oh. That one's for the girls out there.
I mean,
It's still going. Alright, thank you so much, Marcus, for coming on. Thank you for listening. Hope you liked this episode, and next week.
Bye-bye. Excellent.